ready for a Patriots Friday, Keith?
Yes, I am ready for a Patriots Friday. Just Patriots today. Nothing else. Not going to talk about anything else. Just the Patriots. Nothing else to see here. Everything's fine.
I'll tell you.
Yeah, cue the guy drinking the coffee in the firehouse meme. That's where we're at there.
Red Sox feel like they're really going to blow it.
Yeah, a little bit.
Just yesterday, I'm like, why couldn't they be the Braves and win without Ronald Acuna? Now I'm like,
there might be the 1989 Braves. They're not going to be any of the good Braves teams.
No. We'll get to.
But the Patriots, meanwhile, their season's just getting started. They're just getting started.
Get ready for some bats.
They could win back-to-back games.
Some Red Sox.
They could win back-to-back games for the first time in a dog's age.
They certainly could.
So we're rooting for that.
It would help if the Red Sox could win any games, never mind back-to-back.
Oh, I'll take any of them.
But we'll get to that coming up here on a Patriots Friday. It is also a Top 5 Friday.
Woo!
Coming your way at 10:45. We're going to do comedy sequels.
That's
Keith.
right. With Spinal Tap 2 in theaters right now. Just me and Davey saw it. Nobody else, according to the box office. But that is a comedy sequel and a pretty good one.
Not eligible for my list. I've not seen it, but it could be on yours.
It could be. I have seen it, and we will give you the top 5. There's some good ones. It's a tough thing to hit just right, but there are enough good ones.
You said this to me many years ago.
Yes.
You're like, a comedy sequel is
really tough to do.
A strong comedy sequel is real difficult, but I think there's enough.
Yeah, no, I like my top 5 list a lot.
I feel good about my top 5.
So that'll be good.
So we'll do that coming up 10:45. We got the Friday 4-pack for you at 11:30 as well, a 4-pack of questions pertaining to Pats and Steelers this weekend. We also have the week in review at 12:45 and
down the hall.
Keefe's Keys to the Pats and Steelers at 1 o'clock. Mike and Wenu also going to join us in the 1 o'clock hour. So stay tuned for it all day long here on Jones and Keefe. It's Patriots Friday. Let's start Patriots, Keefe.
Yep.
I feel better and better about this matchup as the week goes along, to be honest. I like that they're underdogs. I like that people still kind of believe in Aaron Rodgers. I like that Vrabel, when asked the question about winning back-to-back games, is like, look, I'm not a part of any of that. I kind of like the whole way he's approaching it. And the further we go along this week, the better I feel about this matchup. I think they're going to win again.
Yeah, and maybe it's because they did look offensively so good against Miami last week. So we're still thinking just a few days ago, Drake May having nearly like a perfect game. I mean, he had very few incomplete passes. He had 2 touchdown passes, a touchdown run. It just felt like he was more comfortable in the offense. The offensive line was really good. And even though the game was close and it was against a very bad team in the Miami Dolphins, I don't know, there's a ton of confidence to have coming out of that game. And then you combine that with Pittsburgh getting off to the start that they've gotten off to, meaning they've given up a ton of points and a ton of yards to Justin Fields and to Sam Darnold, who I'd take Drake May over both of those guys right now.
The Pittsburgh defense has been, and we've tried to hammer this home all week. I don't know that Patriots fans fully realize it. And the Pats defense hasn't been great either.
No. Yeah, nobody's throwing them a parade.
But the Pittsburgh defense has been atrocious through 2 weeks.
Just under 400 yards of offense in each of the first 2 games, and then over 30 points both times. So as much as, a lot of week 1, the talk was, Aaron Rodgers is against the Jets, and he kind of stuck it to the Jets. He threw 4 touchdowns. They won by a field goal. Like, they barely won that game because the Jets offense, which nobody loves, was able to put up over 30 points. And then this past week, Seattle took it to them. And teams are doing it. They're throwing on them. They're running on them very effectively. And that's another reason why I have confidence, because if the Patriots run early and have success doing that, it's going to make the day a lot easier for Drake May. You can look at the last 2 weeks as an example. Raiders stopped the run, kind of stopped the whole thing. The Dolphins never really stopped the run, and it allowed Drake May to do and the Patriots offense to do pretty much whatever they wanted, which I think is what's going to happen this Sunday.
I think it's a TreVeyon Henderson game. And that is not to say Drake May won't have a big game or Ramondre Stevenson won't do anything or Diggs couldn't get involved. I look at the running backs who have had success against the Steelers. It was Ken Walker last week. It was Breece Hall week 1. TreVeyon Henderson athletically, in terms of his burst and explosion, I think he's the kind of back who matches up with those two. So I think it's a TreVeyon Henderson week. I think they're going to be able to do whatever they want on offense. They should be getting Christian Gonzalez back, I think. Do you not think that?
I don't think so.
You're making a face.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. I think it would be great, but he was out for 7 weeks with a hamstring injury. And
that's exactly why he should be back.
Yeah, but I think he's going to need the second week of practice to sort of ramp it up. That's my guess. I could be wrong, and I'd be happy to see him out there.
Giardi yesterday said Christian Gonzalez took a rep in a shadow tackle drill.
Hell yeah.
And then was part of
what they call it now?
A half-field chase down drill, with guys you would consider the starters. So Giardi said
Shadow
yesterday.
tackle drill.
I don't know all the
Tuesday
details.
night.
But he had
no. Hopefully he does.
He was lining up with the starters.
Yeah,
is the real point there. And so I don't know. I think that's encouraging that he's going to be out there.
I hope so. Yeah, and really the Steelers just have DK Metcalf as far as like who they would throw to. Last week you needed him a little bit more with those two receivers, and even Geno Smith threw it way more than I thought he was going to with the Raiders. So yeah, you'd absolutely take him. I'd be thrilled to have him. I'd feel even more confident. I think they can win and will win even if he doesn't play.
Me too.
So if you add him to the equation, then great. It's funny looking at Seattle last week.
We were both picking him on Monday. We're like, they're going to win, and that was way before I thought Gonzalez was going to practice, never mind play. So I'd pick them either way, but I'd feel better about it, obviously.
Sam Darnold had almost 300 yards passing. Kenneth Walker had over 100 yards rushing. Jackson Smith and Jigba had over 100 yards receiving, and Cooper Kupp, the corpse of Cooper Kupp, had 90 yards receiving. So like they were able to do pretty much whatever they wanted offensively. And so, I think the Patriots will be in good shape. And, no, we'll see. I mean, Gonzalez, my guess is will be listed as questionable going into the game, and then we'll find out at 11:30 on Sunday if he's active or not. Fingers crossed that he's out there, but I don't know. I have my doubts.
All right, this week's Verizon matchup features the Patriots offense against that Steelers defense. We both expect a big day out of the Pats. That is your Verizon matchup, the New England Patriots, powered by Verizon 5G. Let me ask you this, Keefe. When Jeremy Piven came in studio on Wednesday, Bragg.
Yeah.
I believe we were right in the midst of answering this question, so just let me double-check your answer.
We're right in the throes of it.
Mike Vrabel or Mike Tomlin?
I'm going Mike Vrabel. I don't think anybody could make the case for either guy and be like, it's for sure him and the other guy, no way. Like, it's like a big gap between the two. It's not. Mike Tomlin has obviously been one of the most steady coaches in the NFL, has that crazy streak of not having a losing record, although also hasn't won a playoff game in going on 10 years and kind of gets there and then loses. And is always kind of in it, but I don't think they've been a Super Bowl contender since they won it. Like that was a long time ago. Mike Vrabel, the last couple of years in Tennessee obviously weren't very good, but when he had A.J. Brown with Derrick Henry and even Tannehill, I mean, they made a conference championship game. I like Vrabel a little bit more. It's hard to go crazy and be like, oh, he's way better, but I'll take Vrabel.
And, if you could do this in a vacuum or Mike Tomlin were here and Vrabel flipped, I might feel differently. So I'm not down on Tomlin as a coach.
Yeah.
I just think it's stale.
Yep,
I think what's gone on there is he's barely holding on.
Yeah.
They're living by this, he always has a winning season, and most of the time he makes the playoffs, or he never has a losing season, and most of the time makes the playoffs. And he's such a floor coach these days, and I think Rodgers is going to drag it down. I'm not a big believer in Mike Tomlin today. If he gets another job and he starts over somewhere else, I may change my answer. So maybe that's too wishy-washy. But this weekend, I like Vrabel better. Vrabel is energized and in a new spot, and I don't think he's a great head coach. I think he's a good head coach. But I feel similar to Tomlin, so I'd take Vrabel. Same question with the quarterbacks, May or Rodgers.
So this one I actually do think is close, and I'm really hopeful that the answer is different in, say, 5 weeks. But right now, I'm still going to take Aaron Rodgers. I think Aaron Rodgers is not what he was. Last year, he only won 5 games with the Jets. But I think a big part of like the anti-Rodgers push would be he basically went into New York and played GM. And then, people are annoyed with all of his different interviews and stuff that he does. But like on the field, Drake Mays had a great game last week. Like a great game. How many great games has he had in his career?
Oh.
And right now,
maybe just the one.
Yeah. Like I think we probably tiered the two in a similar group where they're like
I was actually just trying to look I was trying to find our QB tiers.
Or do we have Rodgers lower?
I'm looking it up. I would almost guarantee we had Rodgers lower, but I'm trying to find our QB tiers. I'm searching for them.
But it feels like all these guys so far are kind of similar where like Geno Smith or Tua or Rodgers or May for this season, especially the first month of the season, they're all capable of a really good game and a really bad game. So even though I don't want Rodgers by any stretch, I think for just Sunday, I think Rodgers is still a better quarterback.
Yeah, and I think if you want to say it that way, like for one
Sunday,
week,
yeah,
that's.
I hope it's a different answer soon, like that kind of thing. And if you get into for the next 2 years, it's not even a debate. And even by the end of this year, hopefully it changes. If Drake May has a few more games like he did this past Sunday, then it will change the answer. But right now, I mean, I don't know. I mean, Aaron Rodgers, everyone clowned on him. He still had like 28 touchdown passes last year.
Yep.
Like, he wasn't a complete bust. It was more of the expectations and you kind of roll your eyes at him. But
yeah, I would take Drake May in that matchup, but the way you said it would be the closest to get me to answer Aaron Rodgers. Like, just for a game, who am I taking? For the year, who am I taking? May. Obviously, long term, we'd all take
Sunday,
Drake May.
You'd say Rodgers is the better quarterback in the game?
No, I would
Okay.
still lean May, but I'm saying if you ask me that question, that's the one I got to think about the most. I'd say Drake May. May looked terrible week one.
Mm-hmm.
He looked great last week. Rodgers looked pretty good week one. He threw 4 touchdowns.
Right.
I think that does mask some of the other stuff he did in that game, which wasn't as good. And then last week, not so hot. Now, you're right. His numbers last year were, at the end of the day, pretty good. I don't feel like he's anywhere near as surgical as he used to be, anywhere near the same player. He's bouncing around team to team.
Right.
I would lean May, but
it's fine.
But on just Sunday, that is close.
And I think if Drake May is allowed to run a little bit, that's something that Rodgers doesn't do anymore. And I mean, he might pick up the occasional few yards here and there, but like that is another advantage that Drake May could have. I think both the head coach and the quarterback matchups are pretty close. Like I think you could make a good case for either guy, especially when you're talking about just this Sunday. And it's also the first time, like they're in a similar situation where both are going to be going into their third game as a duo, right? Like nobody has the experience advantage over the other. Like Tomlin's worked with Rodgers for so long, or Vrabel knows Drake May. No, it's both very early in the relationships, and it's a pretty big game for both teams in that sense too, because they both look at the other one as this is a winnable game. Like, this is a very winnable game.
Oh no, for
somebody's
the Steelers,
going to be 2-1.
This is their kind of like let's get above 500.
Right.
Let's get some momentum going.
But think
and
about
the
talk,
Patriots look at it the same.
The talk on Monday in either place would be, all right, you're 1-2 and you lost to the Steelers, or you're 1-2 and you lost to the Patriots.
True.
Like, it's a big kind of swing game early in the year.
So you guys can discuss Pats or Steelers. How do you see it shaking out? Who do you like in the coaching matchup? Who do you like in the quarterback matchup? We continue to pick our way through it here on a Patriots Friday on Jones and Keefe.